Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, and today I will be reacting to Attack on Titan. Yeah, isn't that cool? This is the winner of the poll to replace Death Note, so just to tell you, this will be taking over Sundays at noon, Central Time, by the way, just so if you're curious as to when these are going to be going out. Sunday at noon Central Time will be this. Also, as you probably have seen from the title, this is going to be the English dub of Attack on Titan. Now, I know, I do know that the Attack on Titan dub has a bit of a reputation. However, that being said, I don't hear too many, I don't know. Okay, whatever I hear, it is, let me be very clear that it is so much easier to react to a dub than a sub. Especially me who, sometimes I'll be writing down a note, and if I can't hear what's happening, I might miss it. Granted, sometimes I miss things in English anyways, but yeah, this is going to be in English. I hope you're all okay with that, But yeah, Attack on Titan. Do I know anything about this show? There's, from what I can gather, there are these towns, and there are these titans that are basically giants, and some of them look like in a science textbook, the little muscle man, where it doesn't have any skin, it's just muscles. I think that's one of the titans, and I guess they're trying to break through the wall, I guess. Sort of a Night's Watch, I guess, sort of thing, maybe. I don't fully know, but that's probably for the best, because this show is going to teach me. Yeah, this is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. This is my first time watching Attack on Titan, and I would rather, the show tell me everything, not you guys in the comments. So, no spoilers in the comments. Please just, in your comments, talk about either the episode that is currently being reacted to, or previous episodes that I have reacted to. That doesn't really work for this episode because this is episode 1, but you get the idea. Because this is the first episode of the season, this is when I would normally offer my full unedited reaction for free. So the thing about this is that over on my Patreon page, I do full unedited reactions for $5. However, because I'm a nice guy, I decide that on the first episode of every season, you can watch the full unedited reaction for free. It's pretty simple. You just have to go down in the comments or to the pinned comment or in the description. Normally I'd say description first, doesn't matter. But description or the pinned comment, and there will be a link there that will take you to my Patreon page. You don't have to pay for this one. And you can, that will take you to my full-length reaction. It doesn't have any show footage because I can't just give you the show. That's not really legal. But you can sync up your copy of Attack on Titan to my footage, basically. I've tried to make it as easy as possible to sync everything up, so hopefully you have a good time. And if you like that, and you decide that, hey, you know what, I like this full-length thing, maybe I want to try it out full-time full-length. Well, again, it's only $5 a month to get full-length. You also get early access on top of that, which means you will get all my reactions 1 week before they go up to YouTube. You will also be able to vote in polls with that amount of money, which can be good. We've got some movie reactions coming up, so you can vote for movies that I react to and stuff. And yeah, that's basically it. Obviously, though, you don't have to do any of this if you're like, I don't really do full unedited reactions. That's perfectly fine. Just wait a couple seconds and the reaction will start up, hopefully. And that's another note I should touch on real quick. I have seen around that there are YouTubers that have troubles with putting footage of Attack on Titan on YouTube. So I know that there are a lot of YouTubers that have to do what's called a redirect, basically, where basically the pre- and post discussions of an episode are put on YouTube. So like this, the intro, and then there'll be a break, and then the discussion of the episode will follow shortly after. And then they basically take the reaction footage and they put it somewhere else, basically. And I've had to do this. I had to do this for Death Note, MHA. I actually have to do this for Merlin as well. So if you are familiar with any of my reaction to those shows, you understand what I'm talking about. And I'm probably wasting 8 minutes of your life, explaining everything, but whatever. So if it comes down to it that I will not be able to put footage on here, then there'll be, something will pop up on screen telling you to go down in the description or to the pinned comment, and that will take you to the reaction. And once you're done with that reaction, you can pop back right over here for the discussion. But that is pretty much it. So with all that being said, we should go ahead and get right into this episode of Attack on Titan. Here we go. Oh, we are in for a fun ride. Man, oh man, what a fun episode. That was really good, actually. That was really good. As a quick note on the English dub, I will say, so far the English dub is fine. Maybe you guys will tell me how your ears are bleeding in the comments, or I don't know, maybe I'm exaggerating, but so far it seems fine. I will say, though, Aaron's voice seems a little... It kind of had like a Dipper effect from Gravity Falls. Like, his voice seemed a little too old for the kid, but I think there's... correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like there's going to be a time jump because, in here they're kind of little kids, and I think I normally see them as more young adults, so I am only just going to guess that there's going to be some sort of a time jump or something. But yeah, like, the voice for Aaron, I feel like, could work on a normal, young adult, basically. So that was the only thing that I was kind of like, oh, well, that voice is a little odd, I hope we get more of, the scout leader or something? I would imagine, I guess, because he's a scout leader, it would make sense to keep him. But I hope we get more of him just because it's that voice actor that always pops up in anime for me. He voiced Jiren in Dragon Ball Super, Endeavor in My Hero Academia. He voiced Dio Brando in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He had a minor role in Hellsing, and now he's in Attack on Titan. So this voice actor, I believe it's Patrick Seitz, pops up in every anime I react to or review or anything. So I hope we get to keep him around. I do love his voice, so yeah. Alright. Voices aside, because other than that, honestly, it was still pretty good, honestly. The voices were pretty good. Although, not although, but also, the mother also sounded familiar. I would be curious as to who voiced her. Nah, that's the thing. So I guess we're not going back to the cellar. That kind of... Oh, man. Man, oh man, this is a bit of a grim show, isn't it? Yeah, this is a bit of a grim one. But this was really, it was really, really good, so I liked it. Also, as another side note, I did, on the reaction, I waited through the credits to see if there was going to be anything afterwards. And it did take me to, instead of, the only thing after the credits was just a preview for the next episode. I did not watch that. I'm not going to watch those. But let me know if there are after credits scenes. Because I know they do that for My Hero Academia. So I wait through the credits on that show. But if there is anything after the credits, let me know so that I can just, wait through the credits, basically. Okay, so that's kind of all the sort of, I don't know, housekeeping, I guess, about the series so far. Let's go ahead and talk about the episode. What a very fascinating world this is. Like, already, I kind of understand this world, like, already. It's like, okay, so it does kind of remind me of MHA a little bit. Where it's like, okay, like, the Titans are, like, villains and, like, oh, okay, like, everyone feels secure, because of the wall, or kind of like, everyone feels secure because of the heroes, and our main character wants to be one of the heroes, or in this case, the scouts, but the difference is on this show is that it is probably not a good idea to be a scout. Like, it's a very dangerous task to do that. So yeah, that was pretty interesting, actually. I also like, just immediately, I understand the aesthetic too. Like, like the kind of world that we're in now, where, excuse me. It's like, I guess I kind of expected it to be a bit futuristic, but it's really not the case, because this seems to be a more medieval world, actually. Like, the most technology, I guess, we see is the gear. What did they say? Omnidirectional gear or something? Or was it omnidirectional motion? Yeah, so the gear that they use is kind of the most futuristic thing, and it also kind of reminded me of like the metal benders in Legend of Korra, where it's, they're just throwing these wires and, hooking around. They look like Spider-Man, going around here. But that's pretty much like the most, I guess, sort of not medieval tech they have, but the world they live in is a very medieval one, just from the aesthetic of the houses and everything, and just the lack of technology, Like, the most technologically advanced things in this show are a wall and a wire. Like, that's pretty much it. But I really like that. That's really cool. It definitely also shows, how much of a threat these Titans are, where it's like, yeah, we have ropes and a sword that we're going to attack these things with. Like, yeah, that could be pretty difficult. That could be pretty difficult to face off against one of these Titans, man, they really do make them, like, look kind of scary, because even just, like, the smaller ones, because, so interesting thing is that the big guy, the big muscly looking dude, who you pretty much see on, like, every, I feel like you see him on every promotional material for Attack on Titan. So he's actually, like, a big, like, he's kind of a big deal, basically, because he's over 50 meters tall, and they're shocked, that a Titan would be that big, And so he alone is pretty scary, and, when he comes over the wall there, it's like, that's pretty scary, actually. But I do like that they make the others scary, because that was the thing. When they were like swinging around, and you just see that one Titan, it's just like, this just looks like a dude. This just looks like a dude. What's so scary about this guy? He's just a dude. He's just big and a dude, I don't know how many times I can say dude like that. It's kind of fun. Anyway. But yeah, it's like, okay, this kind of just looks like a dude, and I kind of joke like, oh, why are we attacking this guy? He's just a dude. But then you see at the end of the episode, it's like, all right, yeah, fuck these things. Yeah, we need to kill all these things. These things are horrible. They go around eating people. They ate the mother. That sucks. And seeing just like that face, the way they drew it, and it's such like, I don't know, I don't want to say like a very basic design, but I mean it's sort of a simplistic design where it's like, I guess, big muscly Titan, he's sort of like, I don't want to say like over designed, but he's he's really drawn to be intimidating. He's almost completely muscles, and he's got the and he's huge, and so he's like kind of drawn to be, he's drawn a little more complicated than the normal Titans. But the normal Titans were still pretty scary, actually. Like when the one guy was when the one wall guard, Night's Watchman, I guess, when he was going over, he was like, all right, I'll go fight the Titan. And he just stopped and he just looked at it. And it's like, it's such a simplistic face, honestly, on this Titan, but they drew it very, very scary, You just kind of see these, like, crazy eyes, this, horrible row of teeth. That's all you need, And they, they play with the colors, they play with the shadows, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, honestly, it's like, yeah, you know what, I get it, Like, from that far off shot, it kind of looked like that one Titan that was going through. It's like, it's just a dude, honestly, But, yeah, these things are pretty scary, actually, so I get it. So, yeah, I did really like that they definitely, because, I mean, that's the thing, is that, they show them taking on one of the smaller Titans, and then they have, the whole thing with the wall. It's like, okay, well, a Titan can't get through that. And then, they make a whole big deal about, oh, this, really big one that can get over a 50-meter wall, And it's like, okay, well, that one's the big deal, but these smaller guys are still a pretty big deal, So I like that they make both of them pretty much equally scary. So that was pretty cool. I did like that. To kind of go into the notes a little bit, the first thing I wrote down is Titans and cattle. That was pretty interesting. Just the entire philosophy, I guess we can kind of talk about that. The entire philosophy that Eren has is a very interesting one, honestly, because you can understand where he's coming from on this. You can definitely understand where he's coming from on this, but at the same time, you can also understand where everyone else is coming from on this. Particularly, I guess, the parents, But, Eren doesn't want to just sit by and do nothing. It's like, to him, it's like, basically for a lot of people, the world doesn't extend beyond that wall, So, it's like, okay, well, what do you do? What is your life within this wall? You get up, you eat, you go back to sleep. And it's like, what do you honestly do? Now, there are obviously still professions in there. There are still people, there's cooks. His father is a doctor, which is pretty interesting. Hopefully we get to see him again, So that's the thing. It's like, okay, well, yeah, there are still things that you can do within this wall, but in sort of the typical protagonist, in sort of the typical protagonist fashion, our hero wants more. That's kind of the Disney thing. I'm sure you all enjoy that I just compared Attack on Titan to Disney. But anyway, it's the hero that wants more. It's honestly Star Wars too, with Luke Skywalker. He wants more, He wants more even if it is dangerous. But he also... It's also another thing that, he honestly, like, he doesn't want to just, like, sit by. It's like he wants... I guess it's honestly that he kind of wants his life to have meaning, and there is some meaning in facing the Titans. If he could, maybe it's like, if he could go out and make a difference, he could actually go fight, even if he dies, he can go fight and die for his people, to protect his people, which honestly, the best thing that's been doing this, serving this role has been a giant wall, So that could be part of his mindset. Maybe we'll get... obviously, I feel like we're going to get more of that in the next couple episodes, so... Oh, boy. Need some more drink. So yeah, I can understand Eren's point of view on this. Where it's like he, it's the classic protagonist, I want more out of my life, but at the same time, he honestly does want to go out and fight these Titans, so it honestly makes sense. But then you get the other side of that, where it's like, okay, well, you could go out there, but it sucks. Like, it really does suck. Even if you try to make a difference, it sucks, and we definitely get a bit of that with the scout captain, which that was a very strong scene where they only returned the arm of this kid. I think they said his name was Moses. So that's kind of funny, but they return the arm of this kid to his mother, and that's just sad, It's like, oh, he ate the Titans ate the rest of him, like, Jesus. And it's like, okay, well, I guess you can bury the arm, I guess. Ugh, that sucks, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, that was pretty crazy. And then then the mother saying, like, hey, well, at least tell me he fought bravely and that there was meaning to his death. And while he did fight bravely, as the scout captain said, he did sort of break down. He's like, no, there is no meaning to this. What's the point? We can't make a difference out there, So that was a very powerful scene. It's like, okay, you can easily tell. It's like, again, it really like sets up this world where it's like, okay, these are people that have gone out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times to try to fight the Titans, and none of it has made a damn difference, So that was pretty crazy, and that is where you see the other side of the argument with Eren. It's like, okay, yeah, you motherfucker, you want to go out there and you want to go, die, just have your arm returned to your mother? No, that sucks, Why would you do that? But then, again, you can understand Eren's argument that it's like, well, we need to try to do something, He doesn't want to just sit back, hoping that this wall will keep, which it didn't. To his credit, the wall didn't keep, So that was interesting. We did get his friend Arnim. Was it Arnim? Arnim Zola? I don't know. I don't suppose. No, I was gonna look for a cast list, but I don't think Funimation has that. I'm on the Funimation website, which caused a few issues, I think, for full length, but hopefully they were all resolved. So, anyway. But yeah, they don't have a cast list here. Oh well. But yeah, I believe it was Arnim or Arnim. You'll correct me in the comments. His friend, that was interesting. We got a bit of a, I don't know, I guess like maybe sort of a pacifist philosophy from him, where he would rather take a beating than try to beat someone like some ferocious beast. That's essentially what he said. So that's kind of interesting, but it makes me curious. So does he wants to be a scout too, doesn't he? I don't know. That was kind of interesting. It's like, okay, well, he doesn't want to attack these bullies because he doesn't want to attack these bullies because like he doesn't want like that's beneath him. He doesn't want to stoop to their level, I guess. But at the same time, he does want to go be a scout because he even said like, "Oh, so your parents know about the scouts," So yeah, I'm very curious about our the friend. We'll say the friend until you guys correct me in the comments. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. I will be curious to get more about him. And then the sister, Mikasa? Mikasa? That doesn't sound right coming from my mouth. Mikasa? You'll correct me in the comments. We'll say the sister for now. Sorry, guys. But yeah, the sister, she was actually pretty interesting, It almost looks like, we didn't, I guess, get her philosophy, but she kind of takes the other side of the argument to an extent, or at the very least, you can kind of assume, like, she wants to keep her brother safe, So that was pretty interesting. I definitely want to get more of her. She seemed really cool, actually. And then like, when Eren was rushing to defeat the bullies, and then it's like, oh, it's this guy again. It's kind of a Jonathan Joestar moment. When it's like, oh, defend this poor person, but it's his friend, whatever. But that's what it reminded me of at first. And it's like, this guy, we'll take him on. And then they just look and they see his sister, and it's like, oh, geez. And all three of these, older boys, they run away because they're afraid of his sister. It's like, okay, I want to know more about this sister. Like, she's kind of the most interesting character so far. It's like she's kind of quiet, but she does, hold her opinion. She wants to keep her brother safe, obviously, but she wants to keep her brother safe, even if that means not keeping him happy, ratting him out, basically, to her parents. So, and she's easily scared off the bully. So I definitely want to know more about her. She seemed really, really cool. And the last couple things I wrote down, 50 meters. So that was a good way of showing, because, like I said, the big, muscle titan, he's pretty much shown in, like, every piece of promotional material, I feel like, or like every time I see something about it, it's always like him, that titan. So, when it really, is good for world building when they show, it's like, oh, they see him, peering over the wall, and they are terrifying. It's like, no, that wall's 50 meters high. And it's like, and then, okay, it already, establishes in your mind, okay, this is unusual for Titans to be this tall. They are big, but they're not normally this big. And it's like, okay, that pretty much sets up everything I need to know about Titans right now. At least for now. Maybe there'll be more information about the Titans in the future, but so far that's pretty good right there. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And then the last thing I wrote down is everything changed. Everything changed when the Titans attacked. So yeah, that was pretty. That was sad, honestly. Like, I love shows that can make me, like, kind of cry in the first episode. It's like, yeah, first off, they were really trying to get her out of there. Even the sister was doing her best, not listening. And, because that was kind of the thing is, like, she always sort of follows what the mother says, is trying to keep her brother safe. But she tried everything. She was not about to just leave there, without saving their mother. And then I did like the one guy coming out and is like, okay, he's sober now, hopefully. So I was like, all right, let's see. I want to see this guy, get to work. We had that whole scene, where, they're saying it's like, oh, don't worry, we'll be ready, but there'll never be an attack. He's like, well, there's an attack. Are you ready? And it's like, and I like him, going out and and it's interesting because it kind of sounds like he's fought a Titan before, It sounds like he's fought a Titan before. Because he's like, all right, nothing fancy. Just going to go take down a Titan. Nothing fancy. But then he looks up and he sees that and it just terrifies him to his core, basically. And it's like, okay, maybe he hasn't. Maybe he was just on guard duty at the wall, So yeah, that was pretty interesting. Like, we kind of got a lot of his character just in that, just in him going out to fight the Titan, stopping, getting scared, and then going back, But good thing is that he did go and save the kids, It's like he didn't just run away and just be like, all right, fuck this, and get out of there. He did, was like, okay, I'm not about to take on this Titan, but I can go save the kids. So that was really cool, and hopefully we get more of this guy in the future. But the mother died in probably one of the most gruesome deaths I've seen in a show, at least let's just say in these reactions. So yeah, that was pretty gruesome, and honestly, it was really sad, honestly. It was very, very sad watching her die. But yeah, everything changed, and they repeat the line from the opening, where it's like, oh, we realized that we were cattle behind a wall, or something to that effect. So that was pretty intense. This is technically a part 1. I do know from the titles. I do know, like, isn't pretty much everything like a part 1, part 2, part 20 or whatever? Because I do have to, like, type out the titles. Not that the titles mean anything to me until I, because I haven't seen the show. But, like, I type all the titles out for my schedule, and these are the longest friggin' titles in existence, which is pretty crazy. So, yeah, I do know this is technically a part 1, so I will be curious to see what we are doing in the next episode. Are we going to get a time jump now, or are we going to do that maybe a bit later? I would imagine, again, that we are going to do a time jump because the kids, especially Aaron and the friend, they do seem kind of young if they were going to be initiated into the Scouts, but we'll have to see. But that is pretty much it. Again, really enjoyed the episode, and I'm very curious to see where we are going next time. So, with all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Attack on Titan reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.